teacher and author of Living Faith World Ministries, the Dr. Tony Barhoo.
Only to promote you. I wish I had somebody in here to understand. Your purpose is greater than where you are. Stop looking at where you are and think this is all that you'll ever get. Honey, can I tell you something? God is about to put you in that place that broke so you can depend on him, because you haven't seen your best life yet. You haven't lived your best life yet. You haven't received your best life yet. God puts you there to develop you for something greater. You've got a greater purpose. God has a greater plan in your life. You are just here so God can develop you. Tell him God is developing you here. See, you got to understand your purpose. Sometimes things happen and God has to get you ready to go to your next level. God uses one season, listen to this, and I kind of jump ahead a little bit, but God uses one season to develop you, and he deploys you in another season. I'll talk about deployment in a minute. Yeah, so he develops you in this season only to deploy you in another season. Elijah was being developed by the brook. He learned how to trust God more than ever before. He was dependent upon God. He was dependent upon God's resources and how God did things before he went to the next place. At the brook Cherith, you can fight it if you want to and say, I don't belong here, I don't want it, I can leave the church and go somewhere else. That's you, because you're afraid of what God is about to do in your life. You can fear it because you don't trust God who puts you there. Sometimes God has to put you in a place. Sometimes because of the choices we make, God allows us to travel a certain channel in our life only for a time of development. When God was bringing Israel out of Egypt, it was only an 11-day journey, but it took them 40 years. The reason God allowed them to go through for 40 years is if they had taken the easy road, they would have gone back to Egypt and became slaves the rest of their lives. But God said, no, I'm going to take you through the wilderness, and we're going to wander the land for 40 years. So when you come out of this period, you wouldn't want to go back from where you came from. Can I get a witness? So God develops them, and this way they're able to fight. They learn to fight. They learn to survive. They learn to trust God. They learn to depend on God while they were going through times in the wilderness. So you can be afraid and not trust God. You can fight it. You can fear it and not trust God. You can faint and not move forward. You can flounder because you won't listen, or you can follow and move to the next level. When Elijah had finished being developed by God, he was deployed to the next place called Zarephath. Tell somebody, God is getting ready to deploy you to the next level. It's not when you think you're ready. It's when God knows you're ready. Are you with me? Yeah. Because sometimes we think we're ready to do something and you're not prepared for it because you haven't been developed properly. Some of you are premature in your calling. Oh, God, I wish I had some time there. Yeah. So God called you for some stuff, but you haven't taken the time to develop. Yes, you got ministry in your belly, but you haven't taken time to pray and read the Bible and study his word and understand his word. Not just reading. Reading is one level of it, but asking God to give you the information and the revelation from his word. God, help me to understand your word. What is your word saying? Who is it saying it to? How can I apply it first to me before I apply it to the people? Can I get a witness? Every message is first to you. Can I get a witness? I look at what God is doing, and God develops us to deploy us. Number two, tell somebody, God is about to deploy you. Come on, tell somebody you'll receive your invitation for deployment to your next assignment. Oh, God, I wish I had somebody in here who would understand. The reason you're still sitting there is because you haven't received your invitation for your deployment for your next assignment. You're still working where you are because you're in training camp. God ain't finished with you yet. That's why you're in such pain. That's why you're in such misery, because that's why you still complain. That's why you still bicker. That's why you still backbite. Can I get a witness? That's why you still talk about your preacher. Can I get a witness? Instead of praying for your pastor, you're talking about him. That means God is still developing you. And some of you have been in here for 50 years, and God's still developing. You're still a baby. But God is looking for real men and real women that are ready to answer the call for ministry. God is looking for people that will stand in the midst of a mess. God is looking for people that will, when everybody else quit, they said, I'll not leave you, God. I'll be with you. God is looking for somebody that he can deploy, that when the hands of the enemy come, they'll fight until they die. It's the enemy. God don't need weak soldiers. He needs some soldiers that have been through something that's battle scars. There's a tenacity in their belly. They have developed perseverance. They can stand and do as the one having done all stand. Tell somebody, I'm going to get ready to be deployed. I feel it in my spirit this morning. God is doing something awesome and amazing right here, because my next assignment waits for me. And if I don't get to my next assignment, there are some people that will die. Can I get a witness? You've got to understand, in this season, when God shifts your season, you are supposed to meet some people and deposit some stuff into their life. The Bible said when Elijah was deployed, after the brook had dried up, and sometimes God will cause things to shrink so he can open up new venues in your life. When it dried up, he said, I want you to go to Zarephath. Can I get a witness? Tell somebody I'm on assignment.